Accounting software for small business is the worst. Agreed? What do you recommend a small business use with a small payroll and one that is service based? All right. So, first off, I completely agree with you that accounting software for small business is the worst. We looked at about 40 accounting software since we started. We ended up with two. It's always hard for me to recommend accounting softwares because software is one of three things that we think will be successful for accounting. And the first thing is people. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter if marketing, accounting, whatever it is, you need the right people to do the right job. The second thing is process. Process is another tool that help us do the same thing consistently over and over again to make sure that our numbers ties, our numbers works. And then the last thing is the software. A good software saves lives and saves a ton of time. The issue with the industry or entrepreneurs in general is that we keep thinking that there is this silver bullet software that out there that if I just get that software, my accounting will be great. And I will tell you right now that I have looked at all of them and there's no such thing. They don't exist. There's some that are trying, definitely working towards that group, but there's no silver bullet. So if you are going to invest in your accounting, the first thing is to invest in someone good. Doesn't matter if you're at just starting out at $10,000 in revenue or at $10 million in revenue. Invest in I wouldn't say the most expensive, but the most valuable person you can invest in. And then the tools and the process that they bring on board will be able to help you. They can use, I've seen companies run on spreadsheets and it works for them. I don't recommend it and it works for them. So just, if you're looking for that silver bullet software, get it out of your head. It doesn't exist. So with that said, I will tell you what DeepSky uses for our clients. So we've only used cloud-based accounting software. So if you're thinking about going out there and buying QuickBooks or buying anything that comes in a CD or you need to download or sits on your desktop, forget it. That was cool, 1991 maybe. The world has changed a ton now, and you got to move to the cloud as far as accounting software goes. If you are a smaller, let's say you say service company, right? If you're a smaller service company, and I define small by anybody less than $15 or $20 million, you can use Xero, and that's what we use. Xero, Xero. Xero is a new aged accounting software. The issue with Xero, or the strategy, if you will, their strength is their weakness, is that they don't do A through Z. So everybody is super familiar with QuickBooks, and QuickBooks are the 100-pound gorilla that does A through Z. Xero says, I don't do A through Z, I only do A, B, and C. But you can rest assured that A, B, and C is done beautifully. So that is Xero. It works well for us. It works well for our clients. It works well for our clients. And we usually put our clients that is between $1 to $6 million on Xero. That doesn't require any type of super complex financial reporting, or it doesn't really require too much slice and dicing, or they don't have a complex structure. They're not saying, hey, you know what, we got an office in New York and an office in LA and an office in Taiwan and an office in Japan, and we have different companies. No, none of that. It's just a real simple, straightforward one company in the United States and service company. Xero will probably be the best bet. They only do a few things, but they do those few things fantastically well. Now, if you are a little bigger or you're more complex, you maybe have two different companies that you operate on, and they need to do consolidation. You need to see how they pit against each other, or you just require a little more robust reporting. and analysis, then what we put our customers on is Intact, Intacct. And Intact is definitely a ton more old school, a ton more ERP feel. And I would recommend if you ever want to get into Intact, you get professionals involved because that thing is a disaster as far as UI and UX goes. Now, my team of accountants love it. I mean, they're used to it. It looks really old school. It doesn't look as pretty as something like Zero, but it is super powerful. So that's kind of the two software that we use. Zero for the simplicity, beautiful UI, beautiful UX. You kind of want to handle it, or someone kind of want to handle it, and you hopefully can grow up to a certain point and hand it off to someone. Or Intact for a little bit more modern, a little bit more advanced, cooler than QuickBooks, and super powerful, but a little bit of a learning curve to learn how to use. So those are the two accounting software that we will recommend, that we use personally, and obviously will recommend.